Hi, my name is Samantha and welcome to today's video. Today we're going to be talking about the Leesport Farmers Market on October 12th. Let's get into it. This year I have gone to the Leesport Farmers Market 3 times. So I went for Mother's Day, and then I went during the summer. I think it was in July or August, and then now for October. I was really thinking that this weekend was going to be a super busy fall show. The Diagon Alley show wasn't really a fall show because it was still in September. So I'm like, okay, we're gearing up, we're getting into fall, we're getting into the show season, right? There was barely anybody there, and I don't get it. It was such a beautiful day, and the Leesport Farmers Market is indoor outdoor. It's a paved parking lot, and there's lots of parking, plenty of parking available, free parking, free admission. And there's what's called the pole barn, which is just a giant open space. Think about like when people have like a little barn on the side of their house that's like a cover and the sides, and they just like pull an RV in it or something. It's not like a full structure, it's mostly just a top. That's what the pole barn is. So it's like all exposed at eye level, and it just has a top. It was packed with vendors. There was a ton of vendors. Not every vendor showed up though, because there were a lot of tables that were empty in the morning. And that didn't happen at the other shows, I don't feel like. So definitely like, I don't know, 20-30% of people didn't show up. And then the customers, they weren't there. Like, I don't understand. The weather was like, what was it, like 70, 72 or something? It was so beautiful. Not a cloud, or not a cloud, not a raindrop in sight. It was so beautiful outside. Honestly, it was a bit chilly being in my booth and not being able to move around that much. But it was a beautiful day out. It was great to be out and about. But the customers just weren't there. Both the May show and the summer show had more customers walking around. Now, I don't know off the top of my head, I didn't write it down. I think that my sales were about the same as the other 2 times. Previous me will correct me on the screen. So I did have some sales. It was worth going. I made it a great day, but the sales weren't great. They were advertising a lot for the Christmas craft show. Um, I can't do that one. My schedule is way too full already. But now I know better for next year what I want to sign up for. I would definitely sign up for their Mother's Day show. I won't sign up for the summer. I might sign up for October, and then I'll sign up for the Christmas one. So the numbers, I had a gross sales of $120 and a net sale of $112. The reason there's a variance in there is at shows, I do a special where if you buy 3 items, then you get $2 off. I had 7 sales. The average sale was $17.14, which is great. Normally my average sale is $16, so it's nice that it was $1 higher. My goal is to have an average sale of $20. I had $80 in cash sales. I had $38 in card sales and paid $1 in credit card fees. I took jar openers, reusable towels, and tissue pouches. I didn't take any other products because I knew it would be less busy, but I didn't think it'd be that dead. So I'm definitely grateful that I did a more demure setup there. So jar openers, I sold 10 of them, and that's $60. Reusable towels, 3 for $48, and tissue pouches, 2 for $12. So it was worth taking all of those different products because there were sales in all of the categories. Like I said, the sales just weren't there, so that would be one of the cons and the pros and cons. Pro was it's a beautiful day, it's an easy location. I think that it's an affordable setup fee. This show was $55. That's not too bad. So I did make the fee back, but when you calculate in gas and time and effort, not necessarily worth it. But I would still go back. I like that location. The event hosts are easy to work with. Honestly, I've never had any interaction in person with them. I don't even know what they look like. I have no idea. But via email, very easy to work with. They send out the information ahead of time. When you pull up with your car, you just go back up. If you're on one of the external spots, you just pull up with your car and then you unload, and your car is right next to you all day. So as an individual doing a show by myself, so easy to do it. Definitely will be back next year. I really enjoy that location. And it's about an hour drive from me, and it's a very pretty drive. So that's one of the things that I did to make my day more for me, right? So usually my goal is to wake up at 6 most days. So I woke up at 6 and, just got ready. I already had the car packed, and then, packed my food that I was taking with me and got on the road. Because normally I get on the road at like 6:30, 7 o'clock for a show day. And I got on the road, and that got me in the area at 8 o'clock. The show didn't start until 10, which is pretty late. And so that means I didn't need to be there till 9 o'clock to set up. So I had an hour to kill. And right outside of where the farmer's market is, maybe like less than 10 minutes away, there's like a whole shopping center. And I was like, oh, I'll just get over there and I'll go to like Panera or Starbucks or something, or just chill, right? And wait. And they have a Cracker Barrel. So I treated myself to some Cracker Barrel. So yummy. It just made me so happy. And the sunrise as I was driving was just so beautiful. So like those are two things that like already made my day better. Like I'm not a morning person. I don't like getting up in the morning, but those are two things that like made my day good before I even got there. And like I said, it's a pretty drive. It's not really on the interstate, so it's just like fields and trees, and the trees are changing. Oh my god, my neighborhood right now is so beautiful with all the trees. Like you can see right outside, like, oh, just the autumn colors are so beautiful. So great start to the morning. I get there, I already have in my head the plan of what I'm going to do to set up. I was actually in a different spot than where I thought I was going to be. Where I normally am, I'm further down, and I thought I was on the corner of that spot that I normally am, but I was further up, which meant that I was too far to go to the porta potty, but I was closer to the inside bathroom, but not the inside bathroom that I thought. There's actually another inside bathroom. I didn't know that. So we'll throw that into the pro column, that I was able to use a real bathroom with real water. So instead of using hand sanitizer all day and drying my hands out. Now, if it had been busier, I would not have been able to go as far as the bathroom was. It was too far from my booth versus how far the porta potty is from that other booth that I go to. So I don't know, pros and cons. And get set up. When I get to my spot, the person next to me so the way that it works is like there's poles, there's the structure, right? And your spot is within those poles. So I'm a corner spot, and that meant that there was like a handicap, not necessarily a handicap, but like a, what's the word? Like a walking path spray painted down. So like you can't park there. And the person then at the booth next to me was Pampered Chef, and she was setting up, and she had so much stuff. Oh my goodness, it took her so long to set up. And she had a trailer, and then her car was like in the don't park, like this big SUV, and the doors open, and I'm like, oh my gosh. So like I like moved my car more over than where it was supposed to be, and like I backed up as close as I can, and I start unloading everything. So then I go and I move my car forward some, because there's this like drainage, I think is the right word, like drainage. So I didn't want to have my tires on that for a long time. So I moved my car up. So that's moving my car twice, right? Because I parked and moved it once. And I'm getting set up and stuff, and I just have my AirPods, and I start going, oh, I'm sorry, whatever. Like, I'm not going to cause issues with my neighbors in the morning, but like, move your car, lady. It shouldn't be there. And then the people next to me show up in this huge truck, and I'm like, oh my God. Thankfully, SUV lady had moved her car. So then I had to go stop what I was doing, go move my car up where my car was supposed to be. I'm so sorry, right? And they unload husband and wife and 3 kids, and they're getting all set up and stuff. And as they're getting set up, the person on next to them was like way far over, and I was like, what? And the lady next to me in the truck, I could tell that she hadn't been there before, and she was like, oh, this space is a lot smaller than I thought. And I was like, what? I was like, no, your space is between the poles. And I was like, you guys need to scooch over, like you're way too far over. And like I was like in my own world, and like had my headphones on and stuff, so like I bet my tone was off and stuff. So if those people are watching my video, I apologize. I didn't mean to come off as like bitchy or anything, but I was just like, guys, you're way far over. Like they had their tables like this, like way past their booth. I'm like, you guys need to move, you weren't in her space. And so they moved over, and the lady was able to unload in her space. And it's pretty windy out, right? And the wind can just come through the whole building, because all there is the wooden poles. And I get my sign put up, and when I get to a location, I film my empty booth, and usually I'll use something or just my hand, and like the simplest transition that I do is I just go That's it. And then once I set up, I go in the same spot and I whatever the item was, right? Or sometimes I'll snap simplest transition from nothing to something, and then I'll show what my booth is, and then I'll post it on Instagram. I go to film my second part, and I'm like filming, and as I get to the last part of my table, my sign falls over and hits the lady, and I was like, oh my God. And thankfully, I had already had multiple nice interactions with her, like helping her get her booth, like that it's totally her spot, moving my car right away, not making her say anything to me. Like, thankfully, I already had positive karma points in my queue or whatever. I was like, oh my God, I am so sorry. Like, I dropped my phone, almost break my phone case. I actually ended up breaking my phone case the next day. But anyways, drop my phone, and I'm like trying to like grab the sign as fast as possible. Now the sign only weighs like 5 pounds. Like, it's not gonna like knock you out or give you a concussion, but like my sign should not be hitting this lady. Grab the sign. I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. She's like, oh, it's okay, no worries. And I'm like, oh my God. So then I like lower the sign, and I like push it up against the pole, and there's a nail on the pole, and I put my S hook on the nail, and I'm like attaching my sign as close to the pole as I can. This thing falls over like 5 or 10 more times between that and when the show started. I got so pissed off. I just like ripped the sign off the S hooks. I didn't end up ripping the sign, but like I ripped it off the pole, and I just threw it in the car. And earlier when it had fallen, the lady put a one of her folding chairs on it. I was like, oh, you don't have to do that. That's okay. Like, I'll try and make it secure. And she's like, I have other chairs. You can weigh it down. I was like, no, it's okay. It's okay. I'm done with the sign. I'm so done with the sign. So I definitely think not having my sign impacted my sales. If I would have had the sign up, I definitely think that would have helped. I think that my sign does draw in customers. Also, I had zero communication about like my YouTube channel. Generally, my sign promotes communication about that. It was just a lot of lookers, a lot of people just looking around, not really stopping at the booth. And I'm not going to waste my breath on you if you don't want to buy anything. You know, like, I'm not there to be a pushy salesperson. I'm not about that. But anyways, stupid sign, took the sign down. The sign didn't even last 30 minutes into the show. I was so annoyed. One thing I forgot to mention with bathrooms. So that was a building I hadn't been in before. And they had this whole poster with all these flyers and all these different events that they do. And I didn't know about all these other events, so I'll show that. So it was really cool to see all the other events that they have. Yeah, 0 subs. The food, yeah, so I packed my food. They had a bunch of food vendors. Like, I think that it was supposed to be more food oriented. Apparently there was a ton of food vendors at the far end, versus how much there normally is. And they also had, like, I don't know if you had to pay for it or if it was just not included because there's no ticket price, but like there was a tractor doing hay rides around the parking lot, and every time I saw them drive by, there was a ton of people in it, so that was really cool. So when it's slow, that means I'm gonna be socializing, I'm gonna be out and about, I'm gonna be out of my booth, I'm gonna be talking to other people, right? And making purchases. And, you know, come at me in the comments, but I would rather spend my money on another individual than give my money to Walmart or Target or Amazon. So I am very happy to do my Christmas and birthday shopping with another small business rather than paying the big corporations. So my haul for you guys. All of these items are from the same shop. Highly recommend. This woman was so kind. I really enjoyed talking with her. Her shop is Bookshop by Kendra. Handmade bookmarks, stickers, and more. She was so sweet. I really enjoyed working with her. So I got some magnetic bookmarks. So the book that I took with me that I was reading is The Silent Patient. So this is what I was reading, and I'm also listening to it at the same time. My bookmark was a post-it note that was ripped. So I was like, oh, I need a new bookmark. Not that I don't need another bookmark. I have a ton of bookmarks. Don't know where they are right now, but that's okay. They're somewhere in this house. So I got this one that's Fall Breeze and Cozy Reads, and then I got 2 other bookmarks because it was buy 3 and get a deal. I also got this little dongle for my Kindle, so you plug it into the charging port. Super cute. I got some stickers. So eventually I'm going to upgrade my Kindle and be able to put them in the back of the clear case. So I got 4 different stickers. It was a deal of 5, and so the 5th sticker I got for my friend. So I have those stickers ready to go when I eventually do that. I need to trade in my Kindle to get a new one. I don't want a second Kindle because that's wasteful. We don't need to do that. So I don't want someone to buy me a Kindle. Yeah, and so then I got her this magnetic bookmark and a sticker for her Kindle. And then my sister asked for a clear cover for her Kindle, so I ordered that from Amazon, and then some stickers, so I got her stickers too. So I spent like $45 with this lady. So between like my breakfast at Cracker Barrel, gas, this lady, the booth fee, and then afterwards. So the past 2 times that I went to this farmer's market, I had to go somewhere afterwards. And so like I had to quickly leave, and I didn't have time to do the things afterwards in that area that I wanted to do. This time I wasn't in a time crunch, so I got to go to the Russell Stover store, and I've seen it every time, and I wanted to go so bad. Either it was closed or I didn't have time. And oh my God, it was such a cool experience. It was so overwhelming. I wish I would have had somebody with me because like I was just like in decision overwhelm. The whole front of the store, there was like all the items that they make in the store. There was like fudge, and they had ice cream. I don't know if they make the ice cream in the store, if it's shipped in, but they had ice cream. They had caramel apples. They had chocolate dipped things. Then they had all of the box chocolates. They had a bunch of individual ones, Halloween, Christmas. Then in the back room, they had all the expired candy. So leftover Valentine's, Easter, Halloween, Christmas. It was all expired and like 50% off. Like there was like this huge one that was like $30 of this Valentine's chocolate. It was so cool, and I'm so proud of myself that I did not spend more than $20. I was like, oh my God, what am I gonna get? And they had this like little QR of like, hey, do this survey and get 10% off your next order. I was like, I'm gonna do it for today. And so I did the little survey and just made it look like I already made a purchase because it didn't ask for a receipt or anything, and I gave them 5 stars on everything, and I got the 10% off. So I got a caramel apple, some chocolate covered strawberries, and then some of the little chocolates, the individual ones that were like $1, $2. And so I was able to pay with a 20 and get change. So I'm really proud of myself because had I not used that coupon, it would have been more than $20. But I'm proud of myself for my restraint and not buying a ton of stuff. And I'm super excited to try all these flavors. I didn't even know that they made like marshmallow things. And so I'm really excited to try them. I'll let you know when I try them if I like them or not in the next video. But that was really cool. I enjoyed doing that. At the show, other than shopping with the bookshop lady and talking with the other vendors and socializing and, you know, building positive relationships, I also took things to keep me occupied, like my book. I do think that it's easier to read on the Kindle or on your phone than or an audiobook than reading a physical book. I did struggle with like having to like move the bookmark and like the pages kind of blowing, and then like where do I physically put it? Like it was just kind of like harder to use the book with customers versus like the Kindle, you could just set it down. The phone, you could just set it down. Like I don't know. So that's something to keep in mind. I don't know if I would take a physical book again. Usually I do read on my Kindle. So that was really interesting, but this is the book that I was reading. So I was like, oh, I'm just going to take it with me. And like I said, it wasn't even that busy, so it wasn't that big of a deal, but just something good to know. And then I took my Switch with me. I'm playing this game right now that it has like an offline mode, and you could get bonus points. And then I could have used those bonus points when I got home, but I forgot to take the accessory with me. So I couldn't play that game. And then I discovered how many of my games require Wi-Fi, so I didn't get to play those games, but I did have some games, like I played, not Jeopardy, Wheel of Fortune, so I was like playing Wheel of Fortune. Again, good thing to try because it was hard to play because I couldn't pause it. So anyways, just trying to find things to like occupy the times in between having customers. I'm curious what you guys do in between customers in the comment section. It definitely needs to be something that you can like immediately stop and give full attention to the person who walked up to you. So I don't know if I take my Switch again, if I would have been able to do what I wanted to do. It's just like pushing in this ring, and it wouldn't have caused like any screen. It wouldn't have, like I could have stopped at any moment. So my original plan would have worked, but what I ended up doing didn't really work. but whatever. It kept me occupied. I was satisfied with being able to play my games. I tried uploading my video. What was very interesting is the spot that I was in this time, which was like further down, I could not upload my Instagram video. It would not upload. So my service was worse in that spot than the other spot, because the other 2 times I was there, I never had an issue uploading my Instagram video. Because usually, like at the beginning of the show, after I've recorded the 2 clips, I'll edit them together, add the words on, add the music, and post it. But I could not get it to upload. So that was really interesting that the internet was worse on that end. I also got to use my new Square Reader for the first time. So that was interesting to see how fast it killed my battery doing the hotspot. It did work really well. I did all my cash transactions on it. So it was also interesting to see it took me through different screens than what my phone did. So like I had to like turn off some features or turn on some other features. So it was a great test trial versus like this coming weekend at Quakertown. I think I'll be a lot more busy. So I'm glad that I had a slower show to get to like try it out in real time. And like the first person that did a credit card, I'm like, please bear with me. This is my first time using this to do a credit card transaction. I'm still learning. So, and they were very patient with me, which I really appreciated. And I was able to get it to not print a receipt unless asked. So that's great because it saves money, saves paper to not just keep printing a receipt every time. Oh, for my battery. So when I got to the show, my battery on my phone was 70% at 10 a.m. And then at 3 p.m. it was at 20%. And then I used my what's it called? The power bank that I showed you guys in the last video. So I don't think that's too bad. I didn't have a ton of transactions, so I don't know. Something that was very interesting at the show is the progression of the amount of people, the crowd, as well as the vendors. So I'm going to show you some clips and you can make your own observations and your own conclusions. So I have 6 clips for you. So the show was at it was from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. The first clip is 11 a.m. So like heat of the show. Actually noon would have been the heat, but 11 a.m. is when I filmed this clip of all the vendors and the customers. Then we have 2 p.m. 3:50 p.m. And you're like, what? The show still has 2 more hours. I know. 4:15 p.m. 4:39 p.m. And then this is at 5 p.m. When we're supposed to start packing up. Maybe I missed a piece of communication from the event host or something, that the show was closing down an hour early. Like, I understand that there weren't a ton of sales, but like, why were people gone at 5 o'clock? Don't get me wrong, pack up your sign, pack up your displays, make stuff all like condensed and up to the front of your booth, but why are you gone before the show is over? Yeah, that was a bit strange. And the other 2 shows, when I was there were some people that packed up, but it was never that dead by the end of the show. At the end of the show is when people were packing up and leaving. So that was a little concerning for me. Like I said, I will be back next year. And I don't know if the event hosts know that it happened. Again, I don't know. I don't even know what they look like. I don't know if they're walking around. I don't know if they have a booth. I have no idea. I've never had physical interaction with the event host. But it's a great venue. I enjoy being there. Generally, they do bring in a lot of customers. I feel like it was just like an off weekend. I don't know why. Like I said, the weather was beautiful. It would have been the perfect day to be out and about. So I'm not sure. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and have a wonderful day.